is here that are concerned with language functions. Wernicke's area, this area is in the posterior end of the superior temporal gyrus and is concerned with comprehension of auditory and visual information. This you must remember. It is concerned with comprehension of auditory and visual information. Okay, and it projects via arcuate fasciculus to the Broca's area in the frontal lobe. Broca's area is in the frontal lobe. Okay, this Broca's area processes the information which is received from the Wernicke's area into a detailed and coordinated pattern for vocalization. Okay, so Broca's area is important for word formation, for vocalization, and then it projects the pattern via a speech articulation area which is in the insula to the motor cortex, which initiates the appropriate movements of the lips, tongue, and larynx to produce the speech. Okay, could you follow? Let's see this picture. In this picture, you can see the path which is taken by the impulses when a subject identifies a visual object projected on a horizontal section of the brain. Okay, let's see the numbering. This is lateral geniculate nucleus of the thalamus. From here, it goes to the primary visual cortex, that is area 17. From area 17, the impulses go to the higher order visual cortical area, then it goes to area 39, that is angular gyrus. Then from angular gyrus, it goes to the area, Wernicke's area, area 22, where there is comprehension of the words. Understanding is there. Then from here, by the arcuate white matter, the word Broca's area. Okay, Broca's area, there is word formation in that area. Then it goes to the motor area of is vocalizing. So this the PDF, isn't it? So what you're seeing is going to the visual cortex. So from this auditory cortex and visual cortex and subcortical structures, the impulses then go to Wernicke's area. Wernicke's area is the area where there is comprehension. Okay, remember, it is the area where comprehension occurs, and it is connected by the white matter, which is arcuate fasciculus. It is connected to Broca's area. In Broca's area, there is word formation. Okay. After that, what happens? In motor area, the information comes to the motor area. Okay. In the motor area, motor system, that is extrapyramidal system and pyramidal system, they receive the impulses. Then the impulses are sent to brainstem, also sent to coordinated with cerebellum and basal ganglia. Then from brainstem, it goes to muscles for speech. That is, it will go to the muscles of larynx, pharynx, vocal cord. Okay, then articulation occurs, lips, tongue. Okay, then the muscles for speech, they help in speech, articulation or speech. Okay, so this is the sequence of speech. I repeat, auditory cortex, visual cortex, subcortical structures, impulses go to Wernicke's area, where there is comprehension. This is connected by the white matter arcuate fasciculus. It reaches Broca's area, where there is word formation. From Broca's area, it goes to the motor area, where extrapyramidal system and pyramidal system both are stimulated. Then it goes to the brainstem. Brainstem is in coordination with cerebellum and basal ganglia. From brainstem, it goes to muscles for speech, that is the muscles of lips, tongue, larynx, pharynx, vocal cord. Then articulation or speech occurs. Okay. The same thing in a different way. You see in this picture, whatever we are hearing, that goes to this area. Okay, and whatever we are seeing, that ultimately goes to Wernicke's area, whether it be auditory cortex or from visual cortex. The impulses reach Wernicke's area where there is comprehension. From there, it goes to the Broca's area via the white matter, which is arcuate fasciculus. From Broca's area, it goes to the motor area, and then the pyramidal system, extrapyramidal system are stimulated. Consultation of the impulses between brainstem, cerebellum, basal ganglia occurs. Then the muscles of lips, tongue, vocal cord, larynx, pharynx, they become activated and we speak. That is how speech occurs. Okay. Then this is how speaking a heard word. That means first you will we hear by primary auditory area. Impulses go to Wernicke's area. Arcuate fasciculus, it goes to Broca's area. Word is formed. Then we speak. Then motor cortex. Okay. Similarly, pathways for perceiving a written word and then speaking the same word. How it happens? From primary visual area, it goes to angular gyrus, that is area 39. And from angular gyrus, it goes to Wernicke's area. And from Wernicke's area, it goes to, there is comprehension of what is written. We perceive, we see, and we understand. Comprehension is there in Wernicke's area. Via arcuate fasciculus, the white matter, information goes to Broca's area. In Broca's area, what happens in Broca's area is word formation. Then the impulses go to motor cortex. Then we speak out. Okay, that is pyramidal, extrapyramidal system are stimulated. Cerebellum works in coordination with cerebellum, basal ganglia work in coordination with the brainstem areas. Okay, and then the muscles of speech, that is muscles of lips, tongue, vocal cord, larynx, pharynx, they get activated and speech, word formation occurs, speech occurs, articulation occurs. Okay. So this is the same thing in a different picture. You must remember that categorical and representational hemispheres are, the main functions are sequential analytic process. This is the function of categorical hemisphere, sequential analytic process, and the function of representational hemisphere is visual spatial relation, respectively. Okay. Lesions in the categorical hemisphere produces language disorders. Okay. Whereas lesions in the representational hemisphere produce osteognosis. Okay. After that, we need to know what is the disorder of speech. That is called aphasia. What is aphasia? Aphasias are abnormalities of language functions that are not due to defects of vision or hearing or to motor paralysis. Okay. Aphasia are abnormalities of language functions. They are abnormalities of the language functions that are not due to defects of vision or hearing or to motor paralysis. They are caused by lesions in the dominant hemisphere or the categorical hemisphere. The most common cause of aphasia is embolism or thrombosis of a cerebral blood vessel. Okay. On the basis of the location of brain lesions, they are classified as fluent aphasia, which is also where Wernicke's area is mainly affected. Another is non-fluent aphasia, where Broca's area is affected. The another one is anomic aphasia, where area 39 or the angular gyrus is affected. Okay, so we must remember that the most common cause is embolism or thrombosis of a cerebral blood vessel. Broca's aphasia is characterized by an inability to produce speech or find a word, whereas comprehension is generally preserved in Broca's aphasia because the Broca's area is affected and the function of Broca's area is to produce speech. So when Broca's aphasia is there is inability to produce speech or to find a word, whereas comprehension is generally preserved. Now coming to Wernicke's aphasia, it is characterized by fluent production of speech. The person is able to speak, but the sentences lack meaning because Wernicke's area is for comprehension, isn't it? And when there is Wernicke's aphasia, there is comprehension of the language is poor. Okay, so there is fluent production of speech, but the sentences lack meaning and comprehension of language is poor. Then aphasia, Wernicke's aphasia, also called fluent aphasia, is also called sensory aphasia, where Wernicke's area, that is area 22 alone is affected. The Broca's aphasia, also known as motor aphasia or expressive aphasia or non-fluent aphasia, there is damage to the Broca's area, which is responsible for word formation, and the person cannot talk, cannot produce speech. Conduction aphasia, it is due to damage of the white matter arcuate fasciculus. So the comprehended idea of the speech cannot be transmitted, comprehended idea of the speech in Wernicke's area cannot be transmitted to the Broca's area. Then what is global aphasia? Global aphasia is when both the Wernicke's area and the Broca's area, when both the comprehension area, that is Wernicke's area, and the word formation area, that is Broca's area, when both of these are affected, the individual can neither comprehend the language nor can speak or write. That is called global aphasia. What is anomic aphasia? Anomic aphasia means there is lesion in angular gyrus, which is area 39. Okay. Let's see. Broca's aphasia, expressive or motor aphasia, non-fluent speech, difficulty with syntax, grammar, and production of individual words. Comprehension is intact. Okay. Whereas in Wernicke's aphasia, the problem is in Wernicke's area, receptive or sensory aphasia, fluent speech, syntax and grammar, and structure of the word is intact. There is difficulty with comprehension of speech because Wernicke's area is affected, the comprehension of the speech is affected, produces nonsensical words and phrases. Then there is conduction aphasia. Conduction aphasia means difficulty in repeating the words. Both comprehension and production of language are intact. There is difficulty in repeating the words. Both comprehension and production of language are intact, but the conduction is not there. Okay, so both comprehension and production of language is there, but there is difficulty in repeating the same word. Now let's talk about these gentlemen, great gentlemen, German neurologist Brodmann. He gave the different areas, number to the areas. He's famous for his definition of the cerebral cortex into 52 distinct regions from their cytoarchitectonic histological characteristics, which are known as Brodmann areas. Okay. After that, this is Mr. Pierre-Paul Broca, a French physician, surgeon, anatomist, and anthropologist. He is best known for his research in Broca's area, which is a region of the frontal lobe that has been named after him. What has happened? His work revealed that the brains of patients suffering from aphasia contained lesions in a particular part of the cortex in the left frontal region. That's why the Broca's area is named in his honor. This is Wernicke's Karl Wernicke. He is German neurologist and psychiatrist. Wernicke's area is named after him. He hypothesized that a link between the left posterior section of superior temporal gyrus and the reflexive mimicking of the words and the syllables that are associated the sensory and motor images of spoken words. He did this on the basis of the location of brain injuries and caused aphasia. That caused aphasia. Okay. So is there any question, class? Is there any question?